Ready?
Yep.
Like to call the meeting to order for February 11th, 2025. Let's rise for a moment of silence. Thank you. Would you please join in the pledge of allegiance? I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America, to the republic which stands
One nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you. Roll call
Trustee Sheets absent. Trustee Hunter.
here.
Trustee Good.
Here. And I believe trustee Sheets is on WebEx tonight, so,
Yes, yes.
okay. Ed, if we have anything big, we'll ask you. Other than that, save your voice and rest. Okay, we'll move on to, is Hannah on?
Uh, No. Not yet.
So we'll go on to Paula.
Okay.
Financial reports.
Under bills, there was, for the trustees to approve and sign tonight, there were 22 checks for a total of $34,835. We had a payroll of $53,551.59 and the IRS payment of $9,151.26. A deposit made to CME Credit Union for the HSA, $285. Deferred comp, $600. The medical insurance bill for February was $28,054.98. And there was a pension paid payments that went to police and fire and PRS for just less than $40,000.
I'll make a motion to pay our expenditures. Do I have a second?
I'll second.
Roll call.
Trustee Sheets absent. Trustee Hunter.
Yes.
Trustee Good.
Okay, we'll go on to our department reports. I haven't heard from our deputies, probably, I imagine at a training out of the city or something. Okay. Robert, road department?
We had two freezing rain events that we had to go out on. Really wasn't that bad. I think the temperatures were still kind of on our side that night, so it kind of made it a little easier. The paving request I had for Timberlake from the grant funding I was able to obtain. I went ahead and the county contacted me, and that's in motion right now. So this summer, they should be paving
So you were awarded the grant?
partial grant.
Do you know how much you'll pay?
But not right offhand. I wish I would have printed it out.
Well, good, congratulations.
Thank you.
Good news for the township.
Yeah. And I get to start back over again for the rest of it. So they're gonna be paving Timberlake Circle from Lambert back to Pheasant Drive and the three cul-de-sacs that attach to that stretch. Turned in the annual report for the EPA, just about how our setup is around here, make sure we're trying to keep all the stuff out of the water that's making it to Big Darby. Truck 21 is still out of service. They're going to be probably here next week working on it. We picked up truck 22, which was also out of service today, and it's back in service now. And then I got a phone call from a lady the other day. She wanted to know if she could make a donation in the memory of Bill Dawson for Ebenezer Cemetery. She's also, her name's Deborah Kanapke. She's a cemetery trustee of Walnut Grove and Flint cemeteries. Do believe those are in Sharon Township. So I gave Paula that check.
Do you want to take care of a thank you to her, or do you, Paula?
I can.
Or do you? Okay, thank you. Is that it for you, Robert?
Yeah.
Hey, we'll go on to Chief.
All right, apparatus wise, medic 231s. Built drawn, they had to rebuild the whole box and strip it down, so it's going to the paint shop here in the next week. I just got an update today. We had to order a fuel tank for the tanker. It's been leaking, and that's gonna need to be installed as soon as we get that. Personnel wise, firefighters, Jason Scheider, one of our part-time firefighters, is a full-time captain at Pleasant Valley. He went out on disability, retired. He had a stroke on duty about 3 or 4 months ago at Pleasant Valley, and he's going to be unable to return to work. So wish him all the best of luck. Equipment wise, we received our AEDs there in service. Ongoing training issues, ICE training, obviously we take advantage of that. Community risk reduction stuff, building inspections are an ongoing thing, smoke alarms being installed. Billing, we have no issues at this time. There's one I'm working on. Change healthcare, I'm still trying to clear that issue up. Grant wise, we received our check from the grant for the AEDs, which was just over $4,000. The other big thing coming up, dispatching, Grove City and our partners are adding Locution, which is a dispatch messaging system. And the estimated cost of the township is about $33,000 initially, with a $3,000 annual maintenance cost. So I am looking at, I'm exploring all my options really to see. That's a lot of money. And so I'm looking at some options. We're looking at possibly adding a storage area off the back of the station. We're just getting some ideas because we're out of space for some of our things. And I know we had made contact with Home Depot a while ago about possibly a grant, so we're still following up with that. That's all I have.
Okay, thank you. Okay, on to old business. Do you have any old business? Any new business?
I have a situation. I contacted you by email. I'm Lance.
You were the new business. I had you down. It's just getting ready to read your email.
How it works, or I just explain what's going on.
Yeah, go ahead.
I guess it's the Board of Health stopped by for my aeration, my septic system inspection. Kind of unusual because it usually happens in August or September. So I was a little like, why is it here now? The short of it is, my aeration system's fine. I've been there 33 years. I think the only time it failed was the breaker tripped and the aerator wasn't running. So it's always passed, no problem. I have a drainage issue. I always have, and I don't know. Probably always will. I don't know if it can be solved. I'm sure, are you, Robert? I'm sure you guys are aware of it.
Yeah.
Out on Harrisburg, Georgiaville Road. But he basically, I guess you'd say, failed that part because he says it's my discharge is blocked, which I have blocked it, and I made other arrangements for the water to go somewhere. After it's been treated and everything I know about it, it's allowed to leave the property. But this is the first time any of the inspectors or anything have ever said anything about it. I had a Franklin County engineer stop by. We walked my property. We walked a little bit of the neighbor's property. I don't foresee a solution, an easy solution.
Who do you speak to? Was it Brady?
Don
Murphy.
Yes. But they sent me a thing. I think it just came in the mail yesterday. They said it's my inspection report. Initially he said he's all call me in 15 days. He called me the next day. Then he said something about giving me 20 days. And he gave me your name. He gave me, he said the township. He goes, go talk to the township.
Board of Health Inspector.
Yeah. And he gave me Don Murphy's name. Don mentioned he's talked to you guys before. That's why I reached out, to you versus. He said, he's coming back in 20 days, or he goes, I'll give you 20 days, but.
To do what?
And then what? Yes, exactly. He didn't say like, am I getting fined? Am I? Maybe talking to you guys is the first step.
Do you know the inspector's name?
I have it here, if you want it now, or I can have it get to. But I don't. I think I've been there 33, since 93. And the water backs up from the road through it, that's where my discharge goes to. And when it's wet, which it is quite often, it backs up into my septic. So I took it upon myself to block it, and I'm running it elsewhere. It's never been an issue until now with this inspector. I've never seen this inspector before, but none of the other inspectors over the years never blinked an eye, said a word about it. So I don't know what to do.
Did he say exactly what's the problem?
When he says the discharge is blocked. I blocked it. I can unblock it, but
It's blocked, but you have it open someplace else.
I just have it, well, it goes out to the road, but
And there's a structure on each side of the road, but it doesn't go anywhere.
and I think I was told my side from the road crew years ago, I call it a dot box, I don't know what the term is. My side is 4 inches higher than the other side, which means it goes that way. Neighbor across the road put in a dry well. I think from lots on his side of the road, the dry well was blocked. The townships worked on it.
There's no.
Okay, but he wouldn't let the township on his property.
Yeah.
So that adds to the problem. And then I'm like the lowest sitting house in that whole area, so you know where water runs. And I mean, there's time, in the spring, pretty soon, it'll be across the road. The back corner of my yard, it's 10, 12 inches dip and it's flowing like a river. Oh, the other thing, the neighbors, they probably have leach beds. Mine's an aeration system. But one of them has a pipe that comes out to the road and it trickles out. And if you drive off the edge of the road, there's mud there and a mess. The other one's drained at the north edge of my property into the ditch line of the parkland. It's almost, until last year with the drought, it's almost always wet. And that's where that tile that you guys worship, water of some sort drains there. And that's basically where I ran mine too. So I don't know if I don't even know if a variance can be reached to let me do what I'm doing. I don't like the setup, but there wasn't any other option.
I don't remember how far down there is. There's a 5 or 6 inch tile that goes to that farm field. And I'm trying to think how.
Don mentioned running a tile basically through the back of my neighbor's property, which I've already talked to him. And trying to tie into that, but is that tile flowing? Is there enough grade to do it?
I don't know about the one if you go to the back of the property. But I know the one that's passes through the right of way, it's functioning. I'm trying to think. How many, you've got 2 other neighbors between you going to that field?
Yes.
Do they have concrete driveways?
One does, one does, yeah.
Okay.
He's the one that's right next to me. That's what Don was mentioning, running a tile on the back of his property, but.
Let me get a hold of Donnie and we'll kind of.
But yeah,
Take some ideas.
because that tile would go right through where, come here anytime we get a bunch of rain and there'll be 10 or 12 inches of water back there.
Yeah.
And it disappears over time, but it's, and then across the road, the neighbor, he has a great big, when it gets this kind of rain, there's a 80-foot diameter pond in his front yard for a while.
Plus, over the last several years, these rain events just seem like they're getting stronger and stronger.
I mean, to me, we've always had it. I've always felt like it looks kind of cool, but it's also a mess. Can't mow the grass for a week or two in certain areas. But I don't know the solution to it. I don't know what the Board of Health wants done. Like I said, I can open that tile back up. And if there's no water, as soon as there's water, it's all back into my septic system. Then my septic system's gonna have issues or not pass, or I think I burned up one motor early in my years of living out there. And I don't know if it was related to that or not. But don't know what to do.
Yeah, let me get with Donnie and we'll kick some ideas around and see. if there's
Yes,
something
I
we
appreciate
can handle.
Were you there when the inspector was there?
Yes,
If he shows up again, call Robert to come over.
I'll give you his name and number, so I think.
I can even get a hold of him and say, hey, when we come back out this way.
Yeah, I mean, he gave me a, like, I think the letter says 15 days. I go, is that when you were here or for the letter? There's a date on the letter, but. Yeah, I'll get you, I can either hand you this or I can get it with that. Or not. You don't have to go anywhere.
Out right off.
Thank you for coming tonight.
Yeah,
Thank you, Mike. Checking into everything. Anything else?
I'd like to talk about something.
Do you want to now or?
Yeah. Whatever's good for
All
you.
right, go ahead.
Basically, I've been here before, and I'm sure everybody was excited to see me as I am being here. In June of 2024, you guys came out and removed a bunch of rocks that I had to protect my property. I put them there 24 years ago. They were there to prevent people that can't drive on the road from destroying the property. I've probably spent over $2,000 of my own money over the years, even with the rocks. But they did prevent us a lot of the damage. I don't know if you know, after the last month, the plow did quite a bit of damage. I was lucky enough to be one of the recipients, and I have pictures I'd like to show you.
I think you emailed those pictures.
Yeah,
to
but he
us.
said he couldn't read them.
Well, I couldn't. I don't know.
I did.
Oh, you were able to see them? I've got some other ones since the snow melted.
Mhm.
At the time you came out and filled the holes in and they were gonna come out to seed in the fall. Well, that never happened. But if you look at the damage now that was done, I mean, it's probably a full load of dirt, wouldn't you say?
I'd have to look at it again.
You haven't been out since it
Not
really
since the
thawed.
snow's been gone, because I gotta go look at Mary Karen's property.
And the sad part is, it's just gonna keep happening. Maybe not by your plow, but I've already had people drive on it when it's wet. The UPS guys, he lives down the street from me. He took his rocks away himself, but he's having the same problem. And one of my fears is when you guys all retire, because you said you would fix it, is the next crew in here gonna honor that, or they're gonna look like I'm from outer space?
Any damage done by the township? the
Okay,
township
I was
should
told anyone that
pays.
just rides over it after, that's what the deal that I was told. If there's any damage, it'll be fixed. So UPS or the school bus or whoever tears it up, those rocks are there to protect it. So if it gets torn up now that the rocks are taken, I don't feel that should be my expense.
It's not going to.
Right, it's in the right of way,
Okay.
so it
And
should.
the other thing I noticed, when I went out and looked where the plow was, I was told I couldn't have the rocks 3 feet from the road. But when they plow snow, it's over 3 feet into my yard. I don't want to sit here and cry about everything, but there's rules for me and rules for them. Apparently.
The snow plow is throwing,
Oh, yeah, over 3 feet easily, yeah, especially in the corner.
I read in
That's being
Ohio,
But
I read in our Ohio township book an incident similar to that. And I don't know if we need to have a waiver, but if you would like to ride in the truck with them
I've seen what they
sometime,
did, I could probably drive it better than that.
Rick did have,
we won't go there.
our one driver had a lot of trouble negotiating. No,
On normal circumstances,
I used to do landscaping, I know I can.
I'm just saying how difficult it is. to-
I get it, but when you're plowing it on a corner lot and jamming it up my thing, you're tearing my lawn up more than you're doing anything.
From what I heard, it was very unfortunate what happened at your
Okay.
house. It was,
And then you look out the window,
I
and you
hope-
want to throw up. I take pride in my property and it's like, well, this looks like hell, Thanks.
I hope this is an isolated incident.
I do too.
I'm pretty sure it
It's
is.
the day Robert hit my rocks.
Believe me, we heard about the rocks all the time
I'm
in the
sure.
day.
But this brings me to, I thought I'll drive around the neighborhood Robert did come out. He says, wait, you see what they did down there. So I did drive down there and I'm like, Jesus Christ, man. So I took it upon myself. I'll drive around the neighborhood and just see if they've done any other damage anywhere. Upon doing that, I come and I have the addresses, which I'll give you. And I'm not reading this verbatim. And I cleaned this email up 20 times because I don't want to call names or make enemies. But around the neighborhood looking for other damage, I find 4 other properties that have rocks within 3 feet of the road and theirs weren't taken. So that tells me due diligence, when the rocks were taken, it was kind of a witch hunt towards the people on Oakhurst Drive. They didn't drive around the whole neighborhood and go, okay, all these houses are in violation.
I wouldn't call it a witch hunt.
Okay, well,
We
I
had
know the lady
complaints.
across the street that was kind of the one complaining and I called. it a
Somebody
witch hunt
did
for that.
pour something off their car one time and it was just complaints and we were put in a
I
position.
get it. They're
We
taking
had to
away
do
the bond.
something.
I complied, true or false, but now we're where I knew we would be. And sadly, when you come out and fix all this, Robert, it's gonna happen again. It's gonna be ongoing. Wouldn't you say that happens at your property too? And a lot of it's the FedEx drivers and the UPS and the school bus, Amazon, that's who's doing it. And I had AT&T putting fiber lines in there and I saw the guy on my camera and I go outside and his car is completely parked on my front lawn and I went out and just let him have it. I mean,
Yeah, I mean, that road's wide enough that there's no reason to really.
but people just don't respect other people.
I was gonna say, common sense, don't hold someone's yard.
Exactly, but they do. I mean,
They do.
they just don't
They
care.
do in my yard.
So other than that.
They went through mine, I've got.
Some other
tracks
places
through
that have
mine.
rocks. I'll give you the addresses. But you know, in all fairness, those are remote too. There's mine taken and theirs aren't. Or just
You know
have.
where
them-
they're at?
I have the addresses. I'll give them to you. Then back last year, because of all this, and I'm like, okay, I'll drive through the neighborhood and find everyone that has a violation. And I've never complained about anybody, but this just rubbed me the wrong way. It's like, okay, they're gonna play that against me. I can play too. So I've narrowed my list. I gave you like 6 properties that never really got handled, Nancy. I've narrowed it down to 2, and the reason that they're gonna be on the list is, one is, if you look at your nuisance rule here, it says, any condition that can harbor rodents, high weeds, trash, debris, or combination of thereof. Well, there's a house with 2 broken windows that's being pretty much abandoned. Rats and mice can climb walls. If you look it up on the internet, that garage could be full of rats, who knows? At least fix the windows. The lady has another house at the other end of the subdivision.
That might be dipping into public health territory.
Right, if you
I
go,
don't think we can go board up windows.
yes, if you go to the Board of Health website, it discusses that and there's nothing we can do about that.
I'll look into that.
I don't think the Board of Health can.
Just fix it. I don't know why she doesn't sell the house, honestly. She could probably make money off it. Someone would come in there and fix it up. But anyways, the other one is just got debris outside, and that's really about it. That's all I wanted to say. And I don't like coming down here. I got better things to do. You have better things to talk about than
Or you just want to email it.
I'll give you that. You guys want to copy? This has been mainly for the addresses. That's the only reason. I give you one too.
Thank you.
I cleaned up my job.
I have a question, kind of piggybacking off of him, or people allowed to park in their front yard on a regular basis?
I'm seeing a lot of that too.
Like, that probably doesn't fall on the township.
Well,
but
you can go to the economic development website. You can see all the zoning rules.
I complained about one person before. I think they said 1 car's allowed in somebody's property.
I was trying to think, there's a limit.
On the yard,
Anything else?
No. That's about it.
Well, thank you for coming.
Okay. And I did send you an email when the thing, and then you didn't respond, and I'm like, well, I sent an email and you posted me on the notes, and my neighbor's like, oh, you're becoming quite a celebrity down there. You didn't post that, you didn't answer my email. So it's all good. I just would like it fixed. I mean, that will probably be spring, Robert, I'm guessing.
on some of that, like, I need to check out that property further back.
I wanted to show you the pictures too. Have you ever seen the pictures?
Mhm. The email you sent me.
Oh,
I thought I
there was
responded
the
to your
no,
email.
you didn't. He came out the next day though, but there's a few that I gotta show you guys just because they're pretty good. And my neighbor's driveway across the street, the plow kind of tore there. That's their driveway. You saw that, didn't you, Robert?
Mary's place?
Yeah.
I looked at that and I'm like, what in the hell was he doing?
I thought the same thing. This is my property.
Okay, those, I didn't see those pictures.
Yeah, this
That's
one
where the
was, some of
snow-
them were like. Yeah, the ones that snowed, that's the one, that's my favorite. He's 40 feet off the road. Anyway. Yeah, that one.
Maybe you ought to write that part.
Your rock there, I'm gonna use that sticky within three split. Sticky tacky, but my rocks are taken, so there should be taken too. That's it.
Now, would you be satisfied, like if the township purchased and installed and put it reflecting with?
Like a guardrail all around my house, yes.
Can you guys put that speed limit thing?
Guardrail would be good, Robert.
That was.
Guardrail would work.
Somebody put like a speed sign that was reading the radar.
Oh, it's speed.
Yeah, sheriff, the man's getting nuts at it.
I don't think, I'd rather let the cops sit and I drive.
Well, yeah,
And,
the cops.
nail them, because they see the sign, that doesn't do anything. If they were hiding back far like your driveway, it'd be
And it
perfect.
needed to be flipped. It's not, they had it going wrong. Yeah. That's like,
People park out of the sun, he can park in my driveway and wait for me, you gotta hide, they see that and slow down.
they're doing like 45.
Oh, sometimes faster than that. It's all the straight drag going right into the neighborhood. So what were you saying they would install? Guardrail,
Just
landmines?
little reflectors.
Are you talking about little reflectors in the road?
No. This like little,
Nails.
Pick things?
yeah, the little.
Reflective post.
You don't want those?
Reflector post? Like
No,
what?
it's the one I got.
Just no, that's not gonna do anything, people will destroy that. Well, then he pointed out, like, this guy's got posts in his yard, which I showed you those last year, which I don't blame him, I think it's a good thing. Dean Schweiss has got posts in his yard within 3 feet, so I don't blame him, I mean, but if you wanna get technical.
I have to look, I hope he didn't hit the tile.
Well, they've been there for a while.
Okay, well, we didn't know about
Talking about excess water. What's going on with Rolling Hills? It's underwater. You can't get out. Hasn't happened this year.
They're planning on redoing all
I heard that 5 years ago.
the, well, it's a massive project too.
Yeah.
They gotta start, I don't know which direction they're going.
They were supposed to go in the easement to the rear of our property, all the way down to Crop.
Yeah, they're gonna cross crop, down crop on the south side. And then go through that farm field and tie in there.
Cause when it floods, we can't get out.
I know,
We're in.
that should help with that tremendously. Cause it's, instead of it coming through your backyard like it is, it'll be.
Rear.
I'm looking forward to it to get that done, cause everybody keeps asking about paving, I'm like, I just really wanna pave that and then have a bunch of heavy dump trucks come in and tear everything up that we just spent money on, so. They're all maybe retired by the time they get done with that.
Well. And we have a big hole. There's a, I don't know what you call it, a big pipe.
Yeah.
And it's growing. It's getting bigger and bigger. And it's right at the edge of our property with our neighbors. Heading towards Crop. And it's a big cement
Yeah,
and
well,
it's,
doesn't your husband know anything about drainage?
he ignores me. He ignores me, honest. I've told him, I'm like, this is getting worse, but.
He works here.
He ignores me.
Okay,
Okay.
since we're into discussion mode, does anybody else have anything else they want to bring up? And I know it upsets you. I appreciate when you do come. You're very easy to talk
I hate
to.
to come.
I wish you
I'm
could
sure
come
you
on
enjoy
a,
seeing me as much as I've seen.
I wish you could come on a happy thing. Come, you know,
That happens, I'll come.
yes.
So far, this hasn't happened.
You can always come bearing gifts.
Say, people usually don't come here to tell us what a great job we're doing.
But we do appreciate how you handle it.
All right, well, I'm trying to be nice. Thank you.
Yes, thank you.
All right, that's all I have. What about you? You good? Good. All right, we'll let you guys get on with the meeting. See y'all later.
Thank you. Paula?
Oh, you're to me.
Yeah.
Okay. The Planning Commission, Franklin County Planning Commission has a meeting scheduled for tomorrow. The Franklin County Board of Elections had rescheduled a meeting. It's now going to be held on Friday, the 14th. The Public Board of Health is having a monthly jurisdiction call on Thursday, had one on February 6th. Most everything else I have is email type or newsletter type information from Worksy, Waco, Deferred Comp. A lot of information from the Ohio State Township Association, the Bureau of Worker Comp. And said, like I said, everything's pretty much just newsletter type information.
How about that invoice and the check for $4,538.36? The double invoice, has that been taken care of?
Yeah, they're gonna reimburse us. They overcharged us. So we just, and I gave one, I told Paul, disregard that one invoice. So they double charged us. So, they're supposed to reimburse us that, credit us that amount back and,
Did that have something to do with the grant money?
yeah, and the grant check was for that exact amount for the AEDs.
Okay.
So the striker is going to just reimburse us directly, or they're going to do a credit
I
to
think they're
the,
gonna reimburse us directly.
Okay.
I think you've already paid it, right?
well, it's on tonight's bill, so,
Okay, yeah, I think they're gonna reimburse us directly was their plan.
okay. Or they could probably do a credit back to the credit card and then,
We can try that if I
I
can.
mean,
That
whatever
would be
way they want to
easier,
do it.
probably, wouldn't it?
They can do that, and then you usually spend over that, that amount is usually spent every month, so I can go ahead and pay it that way. We don't have interest charges and all that. They can credit it and it'll probably take care of a month's bill.
Okay,
I mean, ever how they want to handle it, doesn't matter.
well, I'll talk to them, I'll call them.
But it was a double charge, right?
Yes, it was a double
Okay.
charge, yes.
Right.
Okay. Anything else? Oh, we've got this.
Oh, just real quick, when, for Schneider, do we normally do a resolution to remove them from the roll? Don't we?
I think we do, yeah.
I will make resolution 18. To remove firefighter Jason Scheiderer from our roles. Have a second?
Second.
Roll call?
Trustee Sheets absent, trustee Hunter,
Yes.
trustee Good.
Yeah.
Yes, it's unfortunate what he's been through.
Yes, yeah.
He's really
What's that?
younger man too.
Yeah, yes.
Okay, this, VFDF board is comprised of 5 members. Okay, we need to, do you have somebody in mind to put on that?
I think our civilian,
Okay,
our man right there.
Last year,
Yep. As long as he's here with us.
On the
yeah.
chief,
They paycheck for that.
on the chief.
Not neither. Neither have I. I just got a lot of paperwork with it.
Good, okay. Because this has the name of the company.
and you're now, and then
Think,
I think that's all that we
is-
have to
right,
appoint, then you have to.
right, because I think it was,
Can I keep this with us?
Yeah.
Okay.
you were on, it, I were on it, you were on it. I think we had, Kuno and Will, I think. Was there 5 total?
Yes,
Yeah, Kuno and Will. Jamie Kuno and Ryan Will were our other 2.
we've put Ed on that.
Did we have Ed on that?
Yeah, let's put Ed on that.
Okay.
How's that, Ed?
I'm good with that.
Forgot he was here.
Finally got him unmuted, so I had to check with Glenda, but she said, go ahead and unmute him.
Okay, so we have Ken, Ed, Chief. Who else needs to be on that?
Lieutenant
Doesn't
Kuno,
really-
Lieutenant Will.
Fill those positions. There anything else? Then I'll make a motion to adjourn.
Second.
Roll call?
Trustee Sheets absent, trustee Hunter,
Yes.
trustee Good.
Yes.
It's the dumbest.
So technically it's the donation from that.